Welcome to the final interview. Before I start my questions, can you tell me about yourself?
Myself, Piyush Kapoor. You can call me Bunty. I was born at a very young age. As the only child, I have no brothers or sisters. But no problem, because I think all Indians are my brothers and sisters.
The very first interview question is often the most predictable, and yet you'll see most interviewees panicking. Their mind goes blank. Or the other common approach is to start rambling and sharing details that have no real relevance. As an admissions consultant and career counselor, I have helped thousands of candidates narrate their life stories in the most impactful manner. But when they started out, they were as confused as anyone else. What helped them was having a structured plan and some practice. If you're among those who find the question confusing, this video will help you provide the best answer to the common interview question, "Tell me about yourself." We'll start off by understanding why interviewers ask this question, what you should not say. We'll use a simple template to create a good sample answer and look at some examples. So make sure you don't miss any part of the video. Alright DJ, let's have some music. Why do interviewers always start off with, "Tell me about yourself," when they already have your resume? Is it a trick question? No, it's not. This is essentially a simple warm-up question to make you comfortable. The idea is to ask something that will not put the candidate under pressure. But ironically, that's exactly what the question ends up doing, since the candidate is already stressed out. So how do you introduce yourself? What are they expecting from your answer? For starters, let's look at what they are not expecting. They don't expect you to impress them, or even give them some secret information that you were hiding from them all along. They will not take a select or reject decision based on your answer. But they do expect to see a clear and confident response that provides a short but memorable summary of your journey. They are also evaluating your communication skills, if it's an important aspect for the position you're applying for. And here's a dirty little secret that most interviewers will not tell you. Interviewing can be an additional burden for most interviewers, especially if they're not from HR. Also, if they've been interviewing a lot of candidates, they're probably not as familiar with your profile details as you'd expect them to be. If you give them a good answer, it sets the tone for the rest of the interview. It gives them the signal that they're talking to the right person, and this interview is worth their time and effort. So make sure you make a good first impression. The best way to make a good impression is to prepare beforehand, and also to know what mistakes to avoid. You don't want to come across as someone who mechanically rattles off rehearsed answers with zero emotions. Make sure you have the general structure for the answer ready in your head. Practice it multiple times till you reach a stage where you don't have to struggle with what you should be saying, and you can focus on how you should say it. But always remember to keep it natural and spontaneous. Try to avoid personal stories that are not relevant to the position you're applying for. Which means you don't need to tell them that you were lost in the forest as a kid and were raised by wild animals. Unless you're applying for a position with a wildlife conservation department. Do not ramble. Most interviews are about 30 to 45 minutes long. Since this is just the first question, aim to answer it in about a minute. If you overshoot by a few more seconds, that's still okay. That gives the interviewer enough time to ask other important questions and go deeper into the details that really matter. Do not include too many details. Just because it's an open-ended question doesn't mean you can squeeze in everything you've done in life. In a subtle way, include just enough information to generate curiosity. That way you can also influence the subsequent questions to some extent. There is no universal best answer to the question, since your background, experience, and career plans would differ from others. But there definitely is a good structure that you can use to come up with the best answer for you. At MBA Crystal Ball, we have come up with a term to make it easier to remember the structure. It's called the INSPIRE framework. Here's what it looks like. Let's break it down and construct a sample answer step by step. Since you're answering a warm-up question, it makes sense to have an icebreaker before you get into the details. Something as simple as, "Sure, I'd be happy to," would be just fine. Or if you haven't exchanged pleasantries before getting to this stage, you could start off with a greeting such as good morning or afternoon or evening, depending on the time of the interview. Followed by something like, after all the emails and the phone calls, it's a pleasure to finally meet you in person. This may or may not be needed. If your name is unusual or difficult to pronounce, it helps the interviewer to be aware of the right way of saying it. Avoid saying myself Raj or Raj this side. That's wrong English. Start off with my name is or I am. Explain your current status. Provide a short overview of your most recent role. A quick summary of how you got here would also help, especially if your career graph has been unusual. Rather than stopping at what you do, it also helps to show the impact you've had. This is a good place to connect all the dots that you've laid out in the answer. As the parting shot for this answer, explain what's in it for the company. That's it, you have your answer ready. Let's take it from the top to get a feel of how the complete answer would sound. Good morning, Mr. Gates. My name is Samir Kamath. I'm currently part of the mergers and acquisitions team at a German multinational company. Before moving into M&A, I spent several years working in technology and management consulting. In my current role, I have managed international M&A deals worth $500 million. It might seem that my career change from technology to consulting to finance were unrelated, but all those skills have helped me handle the large and complex projects related to post-merger integration. Based on my engineering and management qualifications and my experience across industries, I've been exploring leadership roles, specifically in companies such as yours that are planning to scale up rapidly using inorganic growth. Which is why I was really looking forward to having this discussion with you. I'd be happy to expand on any of the points I've shared. Not too shabby, right? But what if you are a student or a fresher who has just graduated? The Inspire framework remains the same, but what you include in your answer will change. Here's an example of a good answer to the interview question, tell me about yourself, if you're a fresher or a student.
It will be my pleasure to introduce myself. My name is Tanisha Kapoor. I'm a final year computer engineering student at XYZ College. I started coding in my school days. In my second year of engineering, I was a contributor to the prestigious and highly selective Google Summer of Code or GSOC. I'm also the lead of the coding club in college. In my third year, I did my internship at a big tech company. My online projects have been used by over 100,000 users globally, and my open source work with GSOC has an impact on millions. Along with maintaining high grades in academics, I've been involved in leadership and managerial positions in my college clubs. I understand that I'm applying for a software developer's role. But what really excites me is your company culture of recognizing junior developers who show leadership potential and rewarding them with opportunities that can help the employee and the company grow.
How did that sound? Pretty good, right? While working on the structure, you might have realized an important point. How impressive your answer sounds would depend not just on the presentation, but also on the content. The presentation might take a few hours, but for the content, you need to consciously put in thousands of hours. So the earlier you start, the better. We have another video on how you can prepare for interviews. We'll also share several resources in the description. Check them out. Over the years, MBA Crystal Ball has helped thousands of candidates build their profiles and crack tough interviews. Many of them now work in the best companies in technology, consulting, finance, and other high-paying industries. If you need professional career counseling or admissions consulting help, send across an email. Good luck.